Starfield. Things are getting crazy, guys. Now let me sit up. All right. So, for those of you that's been sitting around, you've been just like me. Where's Starfield? Where's the gameplay for Starfield? Where is anything related to Starfield? And I think it's really important that we actually finally are coming into that time where they're going to start ramping up for Starfield. So, 3/9/2023. Well, it was technically yesterday, so 3/7/2023. I woke up to Starfield announcement. They did like a little bit, like a 2 minute and 40-second trailer where, Todd Howard was coming out there and he said, you guys have been waiting for us. We're here to deliver now. And they announced the release date for Starfield. It's coming out September the 6th, 2023. And they announced a Starfield Direct. Kind of, I see something similar to what, Nintendo does, where they'll dedicate an entire event with Pokemon or, probably Zelda here soon. This is kind of, I think, what you're going to get with Starfield. And I think the reason that this is important is the confidence. Now, what I mean by the confidence is, look at the September date. Let me ask you guys a question. Why did they announce that? To me, they didn't have to announce any of that. They could have easily have came out today with that trailer announcing the Starfield Direct on June 11th, 2023. And I think you would have got the same kind of scenario that you would have got. Most people, I would argue, didn't expect a release date for Starfield. I think most people expected just that Starfield Direct that they can go into. Now, the fact that they gave us both kind of makes me think that they're confident that Starfield's not getting pushed back past September the 6th. Maybe it'll get pushed back a couple days if there's like some logistics and, getting the physical media out there. But as far as that, I don't see it passing September. Now, there's a lot of speculation and a lot of anger I see on Twitter over missing that 12-month release date. What am I talking about in that? All right, so for those of you who don't know, last year during the E3 conference, Microsoft, they came out and they pretty much said, look, everything we show today is going to be in a 12-month lifespan. And clearly September, last one was June. So there's no real realistic reason that that's going to be in that 12 months. It's clearly a couple months out of that 12 months. How do I feel about this? I'm disappointed that they missed that June date. But I think I had a couple criteria that they missed that June date. One criteria is I didn't want Starfield to be at this year's E3 or whatever equivalent they do at E3. They're going to be in that general area, but they're not going to be at the physical E3. Most likely they're going to be at the Microsoft Center. I was very adamant on, if you delay it past that 12 months, we don't want to see that game again unless it's this direct. Now, it does look like they're going to be doing it around that time. So I would assume they'll have their big E3 conference on like June the 8th, 7th. And then the 11th, they're going to give you a little bit more in-depth on Starfield. Now, part of me is a little nervous that this is after the conference, most likely, because I don't want this being at this new show at all. I want it to be its own thing. I don't want this to be in this new show at all. And that makes me a little nervous because to me, you could have easily have shown that going into E3, hyping people up at E3 right before they get on the planes and stuff. It's kind of weird that you're going to do it June the 11th after the show. To me, it would be like one of those things where they show like maybe a story trailer and then they hype people to watch the 11th showcase. Or maybe they're just trying to captivate that week entirely and, not let the news talk about anything else. They're trying to space all that information throughout that week, which I can understand on that. I get it, guys. I get it. You guys are upset. And to a point, I'm upset too because they told me I was going to play this game in 12 months. But here's my thing. I'm okay with the delaying it a couple months under a couple conditions. Condition one, like I said, this can't be at E3. Now, if it is, at that point, it's irrelevant. Ain't nothing I can really complain. I'm hoping that whatever at the show will hype me up so much that I'll completely not care if Starfield's there. Number two, I don't want this game to have a whole lot of issues. Now, When I mean issues, I don't mean like a lot of bugs. I mean like just general issues, falling through the map. I think Starfield is going to come out a little buggy, but there's a difference between a little bit of bugs with still playable and still extremely enjoyable, and something like Cyberpunk that is just full of bugs. If you had a little bit of an issue where you shot someone and they threw them away across the map, that's fun little bugs that you're going to get a little bit of a kick out of. But if you're falling through the map a bunch, save files are getting destroyed, I think that's more of an issue than anything. I just want this game to be good, and if we have to wait a couple more months, I'm okay with that. Starfield is extremely important to Microsoft, and I think you can argue that this game has a lot more writing for it than something like a Halo Infinite did, because Halo Infinite was already an established franchise, and I feel like Halo Infinite didn't really lower or raise the bar for Microsoft, so Starfield has to pick up the slack that it failed to do. And I'm very interested to see how things roll out. Clearly, we got Redfall here soon. I think this is a good year for Microsoft, and there's always that chance that, they pop us with that Hellblade at the end of the year. I think that everyone needs to stand back and realize that development is hard, but don't not criticize Microsoft. If you guys are upset with that, definitely go on Twitter respectfully and voice your concerns that, you was told Starfield was going to be at a certain date, but to me, it's not worth it over 2 months. Now, if they delayed it a year, then that would be a different story. And I think most people expected this to this point because there's no reason that Starfield couldn't have been at that last Direct. It wasn't at that last Direct because they didn't think it was going to make the time frame. We got Forza that didn't get a release date. I think people pretty much understand what's going on. But that's pretty much the video, guys. Definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoy the video. And I apologize. I know I have, stepped away a little bit from the content creation. I'm coming back. It's just there's been a lot of stuff going on. But until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.